There you fine people are. Good day, folks, and welcome to another edition of Lumberjack Logic Live. I've pulled together a bunch of great stuff for you tonight. Yes, it is true. Biden is having a ballot challenge, and this one is not in New Hampshire. It's a wild story. I mean, you cannot believe that anybody this incompetent would ever be able to run our country, which is why you know he's not doing it. Anyways, please do smash that like as you come in and chat in with where you're from. Let's see who's on this stream. I see the Arena Uncensored is happy they made it on time. So anyhow, I gotta do this one thing too, which is just shut the volume off so I can get the stream playing in the background so I can see all your lovely comments. All right, so I'm really serious about this Biden thing, though. I'm going to get to that story. It's pretty wild to actually think, because if you remember the story in New Hampshire, he was basically, this was dealing with the Democrat Party, the Democrat National Committee, saying that, hey, we don't want New Hampshire to be first in the nation. They didn't think Biden would have as strong a showing, and that's why his name was not on the ballot in New Hampshire. But Illinois. I just said Illinois. Illinois is an even bigger story. But as a bunch of people are joining on, again, thank you so much. I see California, Texas, Indiana, and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I found one of the best articles I've ever had, and it's about the us versus them election. This will encapsulate what you and I are feeling right now. And I've also got a big update on the Wisconsin situation with Megan Wolf, and then some other election integrity wins as well. But as you're joining on, want to mention my sponsor again. You guys know Midas Gold Group. You can get gold maple leafs, silver maple leafs, real money, tangible money, coins that you hold that will never be worthless, folks. Okay, silver and gold. They're beautiful. They're nice to collect, if nothing else, but really they will always maintain some value. And I have questions about the dollar on that. So it's Midas Gold Group, MidasGoldGroup.com, or text Lumberjack to 232425. Isn't that it? I forget it sometimes. Or you can call them. But if you go to their website, all that information is there. If you let them know that I sent you, you can actually get free silver with a qualified order. So again, that's text Lumberjack to 232425 or 480-360-3000. Thank you so much for supporting my sponsors, because they support the show even when we're demonetized here on our favorite platform. All right, so people, before I get into the Biden story, I'm going to give you a bunch of headlines, and you guys in the chat tell me what these all have in common. Somebody else put this list together. It is so good. Russia collusion. Trump called neo-Nazis fine people. Jussie Smollett. Bubba Wallace garage pull. Covington kids. Governor Whitmer kidnapping plot. Kavanaugh rape. Trump PP tape. COVID lab leak was a conspiracy theory. Border agents whipped migrants. Trump saved nuclear secrets at Mar-a-Lago. Steele dossier. Russian bounties on U.S. soldiers in Afghanistan. Trump said drinking bleach would fight COVID. It's one of my favorites. Muslim travel ban. Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian disinformation. Andrew Cuomo was the best on COVID leadership. Trump built cages for migrant kids. People, this list is long. I'm sorry, but people, I'm only halfway through this list. This is how badly they've lied to us over the last few years. Trump built cages for migrant kids. Austere religious scholar. Trump overfed koi fish in Japan. I mean, that was so stupid. That was such a stupid one. Build Back Better will pay for itself. Trump tax cuts benefited only the rich. That's one of the ones that pisses me off the most, because Trump tax cuts benefited me immensely. And you know who they actually hurt? Was the rich snobs in New York and California, because it changed the SALT tax deduction. Okay? That they were not able to hide their money as well. It actually was worse for the rich. Cloth masks prevent COVID. If you get jabbed, you won't catch COVID. SUV killed parade marchers. Do you guys remember that one? Trump used tear gas to clear a crowd for a Bible photo. Don't say gay was in a bill. Putin price hike. Putin price hike. Remember, that was Marie Jean-Pierre. Putin price hike. Putin's price hike. Ivermectin is a horse dewormer and not for humans. Mostly peaceful protests. Trump overpowered Secret Service for Wheel of the Beast. Officer Sicknick was murdered by protesters. January 6th was an insurrection. Trump mocked a reporter's disability. BYU students hurled racist insults at Duke volleyball player. And that's only a partial list. What do they all have in common? They're all hoaxes propagated on us by the media. It is absolutely wild when you go back to one of those lists and then think about this. This is nuts, okay? Absolutely nuts. Please smash that like. Let's get into the Biden story. I know a lot of you are on here for that because it is kind of wild that we actually have a situation where Joe Biden, I'm not kidding you, is having a problem with the ballot in Illinois because he did not use a notary. Not any people here. I just want to show you, not fake news, okay? Here it is from the Illinois State Board of Elections. Joe Biden did not file properly to be on the Illinois ballot. Man, if you can't smash that like button, hit that thumbs up for that, I don't know what you can hit it for. So this is the State Board of Elections. Okay, so the bottom line to this is Biden forgot to use Illinois notary for ballot signature seats. Illinois Board of Elections says, and that is a requirement. Per Illinois election law, candidates must use an Illinois notary. If not, candidate will not appear on the ballot. The objection was filed Friday the 12th. Today, Biden's attorney pushed to dismiss the objection. But the Illinois, get this, the Illinois Board of Election followed the law and set a date for an oral argument, meaning they did not clear this up for him. I understand people say they'll make it happen anyways. I get this, okay? But we cannot let this story die. In fact, I'm going to repost this on my X or Twitter link. If you're on Twitter, do yourself a favor. I just reposted it, okay? So go over there. My link is down below and go get this story. Take screenshots of it. Share it on Facebook. Share it everywhere, okay? Because we can't let this just slip under the rug or they will just get him back on the ballot. Should Biden be allowed a pass or should the Illinois Board of Election remove Biden from the ballot, people? What should they do? Okay? What do you guys think should happen? I mean, no one's above the law, right? I mean, no one's above the law. It just, if someone says, I think he's doing it for a reason, I don't think so. I think this is the incompetence of Joe Biden's staff. This is DEI hires, people. They can't even get their candidate on the ballot. DEI hires. Just like the United Airlines CEO doing drag. Okay, now, I've got a big update for you. You guys know that I'm deep in Wisconsin. I've covered this whole thing with Megan Wolf ad nauseum. Here's what happened. This is nuts. This happened. This was on the 18th. I was out in New Hampshire. Sorry I didn't get you updated on this before, but I was out in New Hampshire doing business out there. Working on a really exciting project. I can't wait to tell you guys about when everything's kind of in the final stages, but it's big. Megan Wolf's impeachment was blocked. This is by Peter Berniger on Twitter. I'll repost this for those who are following me on X or Twitter. My link again is down below. You can get this story. Again, share this stuff out. But Megan Wolf's impeachment was blocked by Speaker Pro Tem Kevin Peterson from the Waupaca, Wisconsin area. People, if you are in Wisconsin, this is the biggest story in your state. Megan Wolf needs to be impeached, okay? The first day of a news session, any representative can bring an issue to a floor vote. Patriot Assembly Rep Janelle Branchen did just that. She called Mr. Speaker over 20 times. Yet Peterson, who is controlled by Robin Vos, again, Robin Vos, longest serving Speaker of the House, in any state assembly. He is, Paul Ryan's old roommate, and so on, okay? Refused to recognize her. Peterson broke the rules of the assembly. The impeachment articles were item number 12 on the list of business. But Peterson went from 11 to 13. Then Representative Tyler August outright lied, calling Branchin a grifter, and claimed the impeachment articles are not real business the assembly should take up. Representative Tyler August is a sheep of Robin Vos. These are all Republicans, people. Republicans. Smash the like if you would, please. These three are protecting Megan Wolf. So that's Peterson, August, and Vos. Okay? Megan Wolf, a known extreme liberal, even after numerous courts have issued rulings proving Wolf has repeatedly committed errors in the elections. And these three Republicans are constantly running cover for her. If you're in Wisconsin, you have got to call your reps and tell them to impeach Megan Wolf. We have got to turn up the heat. We have got to turn up the heat. Okay, on to the next story. Okay, I want to cover this one. This is a big one. This is from my friend George Behizzi. Okay, so just yesterday in court, Michigan University professor and voting machines expert J. Alex Halderman hacked into a voting machine and changed vote totals while only using a pen in front of the judge. Judge Amy Totenberg should immediately issue an order halting the use of the machines. The Georgia legislature should also create a law that mandates hand counting of all ballots. Why is this so hard for people to get behind? This should be something you're pushing for in every state. I mean, if you can hack a machine with a pen or a pencil right in front of Judge Amy Totenberg in Georgia. This happened just yesterday. Alex Halderman did it right there in the court. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. I saw that. So that's going on there. And I'm going to give you another big one. This is kind of a big win for election integrity. In fact, actually, though, here, I'm going to mix it up. I'm going to throw this story in first. People, this is wild. They will always tell you what they are by how they project. Former Hawaii teacher Alden Benag was sentenced to 17 years in federal prison for making child porn. Benang was very upset with right-wingers on X popularizing the term groomers. This is what he said in a tweet, okay? Alden Benang responding to conservatives on X. You're effing acting like we want to show kids porn or something, but something I've learned through the years is that whenever right-wingers accuse others of something, it's definitely because they're projecting. I'm kidding. And this is the guy who just got busted for child porn. He's sentenced to 17 years in federal prison. He taped repeated activity with a 13-year-old student, people. Sick. Okay, here, on to another big win, though. I got to kind of mix the news in, give you kind of the bad news. I mean, it's good that he got sentenced, but these are sick people, okay? Please do smash that. 2,116 of you beautiful patriots on. God bless you. Happy Friday. Is it Friday? No, Saturday. Happy Saturday to y'all. Please smash the like. Let's see if we can get the likes up to 2,116. This thing will go nuts if you guys don't want to do that. So, another one from my friend George. He got this story. This is a banger. 2 Maryland voters have filed lawsuit against the state's election officials for failing to clean up the voter rolls ahead of the 2024 election. The state's Assembly Legislative Audit found, get this, people, this is in Maryland, blue Maryland, so you know that they were covering for some of this stuff, but the state Assembly's legislative audit found 2,426 instances in which a deceased individual was associated with active voter registration and up to 327 duplicative voter registrations. These are just the results of the limited investigation they did. You can imagine it is much worse. Instead of cleaning this mess up, the State Board of Elections has been fighting to stop Catherine Sullivan and David Morseberger from canvassing and reporting their findings to the public. They adopted a regulation that prohibited them from requesting registration records for investigations. That's going on in Maryland. People canvassing. There was this big debate one time within our movement, and it was all about canvassing is great. Canvassing is huge. Here, this, I got it. People, I'm going to blow this up and just so I can show you. Okay. So here it is. Here's Nikki Haley. Sorry, this is kind of ghetto, but okay. Now listen to this. Biggest applause so far from students at Franklin Pierce University comes from Nikki Haley's lines about term limits and mental competency tests for ages 75 plus. Okay? So Donald Trump is 77. So she's taking a shot across the bow at him. Mental competency, he could do just fine. Okay? And then think about Joe Biden. Even, get this, even young Democrats I talked with, they weren't planning to vote for Biden and all cited age as the reason. Even among young Democrats I talked with. So here she is, Catherine Schwartz at a Nikki Haley event. And who's in the crowd, people? Do you get the significance of this? Who is in the crowd? She is talking to who? Young Democrats. Why? Because who's supporting Nikki Haley? Yeah, Democrats. Independent Many just shared my friend George's YouTube channel. Well, the YouTube channel he's broadcasting on right now, which is owned by my friend Marcus Steve, Firebrand Media. Go give him a follow. That's those 2 election integrity stories that I just gave you were from George. He posts a lot on Twitter. He's got over 100,000 followers on Twitter, so good for George. Okay, now I told you guys I had found the greatest article. This really is, and I'm going to share some of it with you. It's out of the Wall Street Journal, which oftentimes, but the Wall Street Journal has some solid reporting as well. But this is Wall Street Journal opinion, and it is by Kimberly Strassel, and she writes some really good pieces. And when you hear this, this is going to really resonate with you. It's called The Them versus Us Election by Kimberly Strassel. Most Americans wouldn't consider a banking titan a spokesman for the common man, but give J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Dimon credit for putting his pinky finger on the phenomenon, the divide that best explains today's unsettled political environment. In an interview Wednesday with CNBC, Mr. Dimon took issue with a disconnected liberal elite that scorns mega voters. And this is what he said. Hey, great, my mods are doing the work. Thank you, Independent Man. You must have caught a troll. So the Democrats, this is, again, direct quote from Jamie Dimon. The Democrats have done a pretty good job with the deplorables hugging onto their Bibles and their beer and their guns. I mean, really, could we just stop that stuff and actually grow up and treat other people with respect and listen to them a little bit? The powerful, the intellectual, and the lazy have long said that the divide in this country is between rich and poor. Okay? That's not where the divide is. Somebody just super chatted me. I got to give him a shout out here. I just saw that, a $10 super chat from Daniel Lanou. It's disgraceful what they're doing to the former president right now. That's the truth. It's absolutely disgraceful. And it's disgraceful what they're doing to the supporters of the former president. Okay? Now, by the way, folks, I have been having so much fun on YouTube today. I have been just dropping Nikki Haley bombs like mad. I am trying to move the needle on Nikki Haley. She is absolutely the worst. She is not a Republican. She is in no way a conservative. She is a World Economic Forum loving, disingenuous traitor to this movement. Don't kid yourself for a second. If you have any mind, I got to be honest with you. If it came down to it, and she won't win. But this is how strongly I feel about this. If Nikki Haley won the Republican nomination, I'd vote for Robert F. Kennedy Jr. because I would be getting a better candidate. Or I'd write in Trump, but I'd want somebody to win other than Nikki Haley. And if I couldn't write, I don't know. I'd have to figure it all out. But I'm just, people, he would be better than her. And I'm not a fan of Robert Kennedy. I mean, I like some of his stuff. I mean, he was very vocal about the jab and all of that. And, his, whatever. You guys get where I'm coming from, I think. But there's no way I can't vote for her. I cannot vote for the woman. Anyways, 2,800 people on. My gosh. Salute. Please do smash that like if you're new to the channel. And all of you who are new to one of my live streams, let us know. Write in the chat right now and just say, hey, new to the show or first live stream, and my audience will welcome you because I have the best audience on YouTube. All right. Here's where it gets really good. Listen to this. The Gulf is described by a unique new polling from Scott Rasmussen's RMG research, connected for the Committee to Unleash Prosperity. Mr. Rasmussen says that for more than a year, he'd been intrigued by consistent outlier data from a subset of Americans, which he later defined as those with postgraduate degree, earning more than $150,000 a year, and living in a high-density area. Mr. Rasmussen, in the fall, conducted 2 surveys of these elites and compared their views to everyone else. Listen to this. Talk about out of touch. Among the elite, 74% say their finances are getting better. Now, just quickly, in my audience, how many of you feel your finances are getting better under Joe Biden? Just say yes or no. Yes, they are, or no, they're not. Welcome, all you fine folks. Thank you so much. Thank you for welcoming these new people into the stream, people. And if you're new, please do subscribe. We have a lot of fun over here. No, see? Never. No. Listen to this, though. Only 20% of the rest of the voters feel that their finances are getting better. Now, some people will because they take a new job and maybe they're earning some more money, whatever. But yeah, look at y'all. No, it's not even close. The elite, listen to this, the share, it gets even worse. Amongst Ivy League educated graduates, the share is 88%. So among the elite, 74% say their finances are getting better compared with 20% of the rest of the voters. Amongst elites from Ivy Leagues, 88%. The elite give President Biden an 84% approval rating compared with 40% from non-elites. And their complete faith in fellow elites extends beyond Mr. Biden. Listen to this. This will blow your mind. Large majorities of them have a favorable view of university professors. 89% view university professors favorably. Journalists, 79% are viewing journalists favorably. I mean, we're talking the liberal mainstream media journalists. That's who they're talking about here. Lawyers and union leaders, 78%. Members of Congress even, 67%. 2/3 say they'd prefer a candidate who said teachers and educated professionals, not parents, should decide what their children are taught. Daniel, you're right. We have got to win in November. Because these elites, this is what they want, okay? More striking is the elite view on bedrock American principles central to the biggest political fights of today. Nearly half of elites believe the U.S. provides too much individual freedom. Did you catch that? Of these elites, more than 50% believe that the U.S. provides too much individual freedom, compared with nearly 60% of voters who believe there is too much government control. 77% of elites support strict rationing of gas, meat, and electricity to fight climate change, versus 28% for everyone else. More than 2/3 of elite Ivy graduates favor banning things like gasoline-powered cars and stoves and inessential air travel in the name of the environment. More than 70% of average voters say they'd be unwilling to pay more than $100 a year in taxes or costs for climate, compared with 70% of elites who said they'd pay from $250 up to whatever it takes. No, I'm not effing kidding. Who said that? I'm totally serious. That was CDW Cauldron. No, I'm not kidding. This is how wide the gap is, folks. This is how out of touch the elites are. And to show you just even more, that article is in the Wall Street Journal if you want to catch it. I'm not going to go on with it anymore. You've got the idea, but that is the them versus us election. Not all rich people are elite, and that helps explain America's cultural divide. Okay. Again, please go support my sponsor, Midas Gold Group, MidasGoldGroup.com. They've really been actually very good to me, especially in light of previous YouTube demonetization. The channel is remonetized right now, but this keeps me going, folks. Gold and silver from Midas Gold Group. Text Lumberjack to 232425 to receive free silver with qualifying order. All right, now look at this. Do you guys know, I mean, since there's so many people on the stream right now, how many of you know who Mark Elias is? Or actually, let me ask it this way. Just say no if you don't know who Mark Elias is. Do you know who Mark Elias is? If you don't, just say no. Just so I can kind of catch a feel. If I say yes or no, I'll have too many responses. No, see, a lot of you don't. So Mark Elias, so I just wanted to see if I need to explain this. Mark Elias is the lawyer for the left, okay? He is the one that fights lawfare in election cases all over the country. He's one of my best follows on Twitter, not because I like anything he has to say, because I can learn so much, okay? This guy is bad news. And here, this is he runs Democracy Docket, okay? This is his thing. And look at that headline. Donald Trump's plot against America. And this is I don't actually know that he believes this, because so many of his lawsuits are just absolute frauds. Meaning, you know, he's saying that obviously voter ID is racist and all that. And listen to this. Donald Trump is plotting to overthrow American democracy. It is not a secret, and he is not subtle. The only question is whether enough people will care enough to stop it. Trump is not hiding his intentions for a second term. Echoing Hitler's rise to power, he has called his political enemies vermin and promised his supporters that if elected, he would be their retribution. Trump's enablers have outlined a plan for him to replace tens of thousands of career civil servants with mega loyalists and to take personal control of the U.S. Department of Justice to prosecute his political rivals. You mean like what's going on right now, Mark? Is that what you mean? Because who's getting prosecuted? Who's getting persecuted? Good night. This guy's a dork. He's almost certain to use an old law, the Insurrection Act, to convert the military into his personal domestic police force. Did you catch that? He is almost certain to use an old law, the Insurrection Act, to convert the military into his personal domestic police force. Now, you know what sounded really good in that paragraph? Trump's enablers have outlined a plan for him to replace tens of thousands of career civil servants with mega loyalists and to take personal control of the U.S. Department of Justice. Good. Good. I mean, of all the things, this is good. Daniel, you super chatted again. I'll acknowledge that. They forgot we've already seen 4 years of Trump. Exactly. We've seen 4 years of Trump and we like it. Now, if he can get some actual mega loyalists who actually want to, reform the Justice Department and replace tens of thousands of these career civil servants who are doing all the harm in this country, freaking yes. All right. And then he goes on about his most brazen attacks after 2020 and so on. So anyways, that's what I wanted to get out to you today. Also, check out my other sponsor, MyPillow, MyPillow.com, promo code Lumberjack for big savings. People, get some Giza sheets. You will absolutely love them. Thank you so much. The videos went nuts today on Nikki Haley, and that's big. Please share those around because we absolutely need to. Nikki Haley is just not an option. I mean, if I had to choose between Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis, there's not even a question in my mind. I would choose Ron DeSantis any day over Nikki Haley, but I don't have to because Trump's running and Trump's going to win the nomination. Trump's going to win in New Hampshire and he's going to win in South Carolina in a big way. And South Carolina is going to be an absolute throwdown, bloodbath for Nikki Haley. So keep fighting the good fight. Remember, if you're new, please do subscribe to the channel, share the content, especially the Nikki Haley videos from today, folks. I love y'all. Keep fighting the good fight. Peace out.